Hi, welcome. Today is day 29 of my 40 days on the mat. So whether you're practicing with me daily or you're finding that you're just picking and choosing the videos that are to your liking, I welcome you to the mat. I think the most important thing about yoga is that you're practicing, and the second most important thing about yoga is that you're looking at your practice and saying, what can I learn? And so as you come to your mat today, we'll keep it short and sweet, but always knowing that it's what we're doing in the pose and how we're using our body, not just the poses themselves. So really trying to take a step back and bring ourselves fully and completely into the practice as much as we possibly can. What you may need today for practice is a block or two. So if you don't have blocks, find something that you can easily stack up, or maybe a small stool if necessary for some of our standing poses. Let's begin. We'll start in the tabletop position. Let me just get my timer here. We'll start in our tabletop position, hands and knees, and start out with a few repetitions of cat-cow. So typically cat-cow, many times we just throw our body up and down and call it a day. But when our shoulder girdle is stiff and we keep straight arms, we actually limit the mobility in the shoulder girdle. So bend your elbows, curl your toes under, open your sit bones as your belly drops and your chest pulls forward. Now at the last second, extend the arms. Exhale, curl your tail in, chin to chest, pull up through your front core and transverses as you lean towards the heels. Feel your sacrum spread away from your rib cage. Now glide forward like you're pushing something with your nose, elbows bend. Turn your sit bones open, drag your heart forward, arms extend last. Let's go 5 more. Exhale, really try to get the pelvic floor involved. One more. And then back to center. Great work. In tabletop, neutral pelvis, nice broad back. Step back with your left foot. Roll the toes under and press through the heel, keeping the hips square. So my back is broad. Reach through the heel and firm up through the quad muscle just to create some nice space. Really good calf stretch. Now on the next exhalation, pelvic core contracts, lift the knee up and slightly round the spine without letting the folds of the elbows turn in. Hold and breathe, pick the heel up high. Now slide it forward into pigeon. So my femur bone is going straight forward. I'll walk will be your right heel off to the left. Re-square the hips, really important because that's what's going to give you the stretch in the back booty cheek. Now flex the front foot. Continue to re-square. Back leg is long. Front belly is strong. Start to come forward now, either resting on blocks or extending your arms out as you get a really great stretch in that right glute. We'll go a couple rounds of breath. Try to focus on breathing into the hip and possibly into the spine and kidneys. So really imagine as though you're trying to turn your pelvis on your femur head, which is your thigh bone. Now slowly bring yourself up. I'll be turning away from you. Take your opposite arm of the front leg, place the hand to the knee. Now if you're up on blocks, it'll be just in front of the knee. Push out of your left shoulder, tuck your right arm behind, maybe grab for the foot of the big toe on that front leg. Inhale, roll your top shoulder open as you push off your bottom forearm, kind of like Sphinx. Exhale, draw the front belly in. Inhale, open, really stretch through the shoulders. Exhale. release. Hands to the mat. Now roll your back toes under, hips lift, pelvic core contracts to help free the front leg back into plank. Let's go 5 breaths. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Inhale, exhale, lift your hips to step that same foot forward again, which is your right foot. Back heel goes flat. Now block comes to the inside of the front heel and ankle. Anchor the arm. You're pinning the knee, keep the fold of the elbow forward. Pelvic neutral, which will increase more of a side body stretch too. Inhale, roll, roll, roll. Exhale, either extend the arm as you lunge into the front hip, strong back leg, or tuck the arm and either grab for the inner thigh or just tuck and stay open. Remember, the focus and the goal is the openness, not just to bring the arm to the sky. Having the arm vertical means nothing. The shoulder girdle may not even be stacked. So we want to try to create openness in where the arm inserts, not just the arms themselves. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, lower front belly stays strong, internally nice and active. Next, inhale, lengthen through the front leg without letting the knee rotate inward or snap back. So you kind of try to keep that quad nice and strong. A good check in triangle is to lift the toes. You can also prop the ball of the foot on a block in triangle to help keep the front leg more active. Again, I'm rooting my pelvis, what feels like back, to try to keep a nice strong neutral. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, press into your back heel. Nice stretch along the side body. Exhale, bend your front knee, bring your top arm down. Remove your block and turn into a straddle. Feet go parallel, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose, stay calm. Remember that your body is a temple, you only get one, and replacement parts are never as good as the originals. Let's go to the opposite side. Tabletop. So hands and knees, stepping back. Roll the toes under, press through the heel. So your opposite leg now, square off the hips, broaden through the back, long deep breathing. Now staying with your left leg extended back, lift your hips. We're not pushing the tailbone up. We're trying to keep neutral. So you feel that deep transversus muscle, our deepest core muscle. Lift the knee and bring the heel and knee nice and high. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. I'm trying not to hunch. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Slide the leg forward, pigeon. So old school of thought, we're jamming the thigh bone all the way off to the side, which then comes in and really slams onto our sacrum. We want to keep that thigh bone pointing straight forward, so we push the bone back into the glute and back into all the tight, restrictive connective tissue in that hip socket area. So if you want to learn more about pigeon, I do have a video dedicated solely to pigeon on my YouTube channel, so feel free to check that out. Keep the front foot flexed, just enough to help keep some power in the hip. Now re-square the pelvis. I'm trying to bring what would be your left hip more forward and down. I'm just going to create more stretch here. Exhale, start to bow, keeping your front core nice and active. Either come to your forearms, you can bring your forehead to a block or forearms to a block, or outstretch the arms. Our limbs are an extension of our back body and of our core. Let's take long, deep breaths now. Now bring yourself up slowly Take your left hand and bring it onto your right knee. Draw the opposite arm behind you and grab for the foot. Press out of the shoulder. Now turn your top shoulder open and look up towards the ceiling. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And exhale, unwind slowly. Hands to the floor. Roll the back toes under. Lift the hips to free the leg. Plank. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Lift your hips high enough to step your right foot forward again. Turn your back heel flat. Now I'm facing away from you, and don't worry, we're going to do the other side 2 times as well. So arm pins to the inside of the leg. Keep the fold of the elbow forward. Drop your tail and open, 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 open your torso, keeping your tailbone from shooting out. Inhale, lengthen your front leg, rotating the thigh externally. Ground through the mound behind the big toe, inner heel and outside mound behind the pinky toe, or bring that foot onto the block, which may help if you're feeling vulnerable to locking. And release the top arm, bend the front knee, remove your block, and let's just jump switch the feet. So now we're working with the other side. We'll do 2 times and we'll change directions just for a sense of energy and change of pace. All right, when you're ready, so now let's come tabletop position and stretch back with what would be your right foot. So nice long stretch in the calf. Try not to sit in the shoulders. Inhale through the nose, exhale, lift the knee and pull up through the deep belly. Slide the leg forward, pigeon, you kind of know the protocol. Adjust the front heel, adjust the thighs, square, square, square the hips, really get into that left glute cheek now. The other side had twice in a row, so that second time around you really felt the difference. Inhale, exhale, think about lengthening your spine as you bow. I'm just going to move back just a hair. As you come down towards the floor, use your forearms or outstretch your arms, long deep breathing. Try to stay with a good stretch. A stretch that keeps you alert, a stretch that keeps you very aware. Now if your hips are more open, you're just changing the angle of the shin. Rise up slowly. And if your heel was more projected forward, bring it in tighter so you may be able to grab onto that foot. Opposite forearm comes to the floor, hand to the knee. Draw your left arm around. Either tuck the hand to the sacrum or grab for the foot. Push out of your bottom forearm and turn yourself open, keeping your front belly strong so you feel no jamming in your lower back. Breathe. And on unwind slowly, great job. Roll the back toes under, lift, plank. Lift the hips a little bit to step your left foot forward, back heel drops flat to some sort of an angle. Arm comes parallel with the leg, your height of the block relative to your willingness in the body. Dropping the tail, pelvic floor engages. We're not just moving bony structure, we're trying to activate muscle as well. Keep the front knee from sinking, keep the fold of the bottom front elbow from coming forward, and roll yourself open, staying open through the front of the pelvis as well. Lateral angle. Inhale, lengthen through the front leg if you like that block variation. I don't do it often, but I'm really liking it today. Keep the knee from turning in, thigh muscle strong, foot is still flexed. If you need to, fist or grab another block. Really try to neutral the pelvis, open up, tight restricted glute, lumbar dorsal fascia, which is your lower back area. If you're feeling inclined, arm extends, but it's because your torso is willingly opening. Press into your back heel. Exhale, drop the top arm, bend your front knee to release the block. Turn through straddle. And let's go right to the opposite side. Runner's lunge. Step back. Tabletop. From tabletop, step back now with what would be your right foot. So you're getting a nice right heel stretch, a nice right calf stretch. Keep the hips square. And then from that stretch, lift the left knee. Feel the front belly and deep pelvic floor muscles nice and strong. Slide the knee forward. We're going for pigeon. Square the hips. Femur bone is pointing forward. Adjust the front shin. As I square, I'm feeling much more sensation where I should be rather than jamming into my sacrum. Lower yourself down. I'm just going to scooch back a little bit. Lower yourself down, possibly resting your forearms or your forehead onto a block. Keep your front core strong. Lift and slide it back into plank. Let's take a couple breaths here. Try to keep neutral pelvis so you're not hanging in your hip flexors. Head is nice and long. Weight is forward towards the fingertips. Now lift your hips to step what would be your left foot forward. I'll be turning away from you. Back heel drops flat to an angle. Grab your block if it's appropriate. Arm and shin go parallel. Lengthen your lower back, lower glutes contract. Roll yourself open with the fold of the front hip moving back and down. Take what you've done today on the mat and translate it into a better version of yourself off the mat. Namaste.